Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Amer Alkhayer, and in this video I'm going to tell you about the OET speaking test. I'm going to tell you about my own experience with it, because English is not my first language, it's actually my second language. I'm an Arab, and we don't really speak English where I'm from. So when I went and did the test, I was worried. Of course I was, everyone would be. But because my English is not my first language, I'm not very sure of it. After I finished the test, the speaking part, I was sure that I didn't do well. Turned out I actually got 450. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how I prepared, I'm going to tell you what you need to know, and I'm going to tell you about my experience, and I'll give you a bunch of tips if you can use them. And I really think they are helpful. Okay guys, first thing we need to know the assessment criteria. First criteria is pronunciation is easily understood, along with prosodic features. Pronunciation is like I'm talking right now. This is how I spoke on the test day. As for the prosodic features, the stress, the rhythm, they are very helpful and they are very important when you need to make a point. For example, I remember on my test day that my patient, she was reluctant to take a break from work. She had something wrong with her elbow or her wrist. I don't really quite remember. But anyway, she needed to rest her hand for a while. And she used to be a painter or something like that. I don't remember because it was a long time ago. So the patient was reluctant. She didn't do as I told her. So that's where the prosodic features came in handy. That's what you need to do, like this. Well, you really should take a rest. You see how I did there? Like a wave, up and down, up and down. That's very, very important. Before we go into the second criteria, it is known that any hesitation is alright as long as it's not a sign of searching for a word. So I remember when I was speaking, I did something like, well, it is normal. No, really, something? It is normal, but I frowned upon it. So you see what I did there? I was like, it is normal. I hesitated a little bit, but I wasn't searching for a word. I hesitated with the concept. I'm talking to a patient. First of all, it is normal because yes, science says this thing is normal, which is taking paracetamol for any joint pain. I'm just giving a hypothetical situation here. But then I said, but I really do frown upon it. This what I did right here, this is very good. Your facial expressions, your body language. I know it's not assessed because after all, what you're looking at is only an interlocutor and everything is taped. But the voice, how you wave your voice, this is very important. Criteria number 2, rich and flexible vocabulary with a wide range of grammar. Okay, let me tell you what here is necessary. Collocations. This is extremely important. You see, for us people who are not natives, we need to know this because we don't speak English every day, so we're not really familiar with the collocations. Collocations are things like two words that come together. For example, I'm breaking a bad news. This was, I think, the second role play I had. Breaking bad news. So I used a collocation, which was troubling times. I didn't say hard times. I didn't say tough times. I said troubling times, which is a collocation. So what I said, I was breaking a bad news. My patient had cancer. So I told her, I can assure you that my clinic and I will stay by you during these troubling times. You see, this is a collocation. The second thing we can use here are idioms. Idioms, you guys, is very important, and it's actually one of the highest criteria. What I did, the first role play that I had, the one with the patient who had something with her wrist, and she was reluctant to take a rest from work. So I said, I know it seems easier for you to just take paracetamol for the pain, but cutting corners will only do you harm. So here I used idiom and a collocation. The idiom is cutting corner, and you should see the interlocutor's face when I said that. The facial expression, honestly impressed. And the collocation, do you harm. See, these are very important, guys. Let's move on. Initiation and introducing yourself along with interaction with the patient. I'm sure like the greeting, we all prepared something. Mine was, hello, my name is Dr. Amer Alkhayer. I'm one of the doctors here in this suburban clinic. How may I help you? Or in case I know the patient, it would be, hello, Mr. Smith, how have you been? I'm just giving you a random example. But I do need to state one thing. When you start, try to stay away from hi. Go for hello. It's more professional, okay? Moving on to the other criteria, demonstrating an attentive and respectful attitude. Okay, you guys, this is very important and I want your full attention here. You are not supposed to interrupt the interlocutor. Don't forget, this is a role play and he's a patient or she. So, first thing, we don't interrupt. Second, after they finish, we speak based on what they gave us. Let me give you an example. The role play is about knee pain. And the interlocutor is going like, well, doctor, I have this pain in my knee every time I'm going up the stairs. Strangely, last week I had stomach ache. I thought it was nothing, so I took some antacids, and now I'm here for my knee pain. This is what you need to do. To show that you were listening, go like this. Stomach pain, huh? How was the stomach pain? Do you care to demonstrate a little bit further? Okay, so the patient speaks, and now probably it's going to be nothing because the main role play is about the knee pain. So this is what you do. Oh, all right. Okay, I'm sure. Okay. Okay, I'm happy to hear. It's obviously not something to worry about. Now, going back to the knee pain. This is very important. The connection, going back. Things like this. On to the other criteria, adopting a non-judgmental approach. Guys, this is very, very important when you're dealing with father or mother to a child. Let's say one time I had a role play. The patient was a 6-year-old or 4-year-old girl who fell down, and her mother was feeling very guilty because she didn't keep an eye on her. Okay, so this is what I did. I'm sure you paid enough care for her, and I'm sure you paid attention, and I'm sure you did all you can. But things like this happen. You don't need to blame yourself. You see, that's you calming the patient. That's you being not judgmental, which is very important in these cases. The other criteria, showing empathy or feeling, predicament, emotional state. All right. This is when you go like, oh, I'm sorry. It must be very hard for you. I can only imagine how you must be feeling right now. Just imagine yourself sitting with your best friend, and your best friend is telling you about a hard situation they're going through. Act. The speaking part, it's your 15 moments of fame. You should act. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I can only imagine how you must be feeling. This is at the end, this is a role play, okay? They don't really care about your medical information, if they are correct or not. They care about your English, and they care about how well do you act as a doctor. So how did I prepare for the test, for the speaking part? I prepared with approximately 81 card. Every task on that card, the task would say, breaking bad news, explain, appreciate, help them to understand. I would prepare sentences, statements from my own invention because I don't want to sound familiar to other people. Like how to deal with a reluctant patient. I had like 4 sentences that I memorized in order when I was taking the test, if I had a reluctant patient, I don't have to think about a sentence. It was right there to say it as if I'm quoting a TV show or a series or anything, but actually I'm quoting my own self. So this is how I prepared. And I highly recommend you guys to do this. Go through the role plays. Take every task on that card, and write down a list of sentences that can be used in similar situations. You will find this very helpful. And to tell you something that happened with me on the test day. They gave me the card, and when I looked at the tasks, I realized I can't read, think, speak, and interact. So I read the card like 3 or 4 times, and then I decided, because the tasks were very long, I can't do all of this together. So I just put the card aside, and I spoke from the heart. It was clear what I needed to do, like question the patient, advise the patient, like recommend something and at the end soothe the pain, like make sure that the patient is not scared. So I did all of this and I deviated actually. I didn't stick to the card that they gave me. And apparently that didn't reduce my mark at all. I mean, I got 450. So that's it actually. I hope that I helped you. Please, if you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, go to the comment section, put anything you have for me, and I would be happy to help. And guys, stay safe.